Okay, just a bit of an update for you guys on these two amps. The Twin Reverb's back to life. Loud as buggery, sounds like a beauty. The problem came from those old Mallory electrolytics that were under the doghouse there. Two of those have been changed quite some time ago. The first two filter caps, but the rest of them were still the original 1982 caps, and they're well and truly past their use by date. And of course, one of those in the bias supply stopped functioning, which then caused that short in that tube. So I went to replace the grid blocker and the screen grid resistor on that tube, and of course straight away the tube socket, which was pretty charred and obviously got well hot, started dropping its tangs. So I got one of the other tube bases out of the spare Twin Reverb chassis that you brought down, and swapped over the nice shiny retainer on the top edge and stuff, and you know, got that all back in one piece. That looks good. I did those remaining resistors under the capacitors under the doghouse, so they're all fit for another 20 years or so. I haven't gone overboard with it, so those silver caps that you can see there, those little electrolytics of the cathode bypass caps, they're all still functioning. They're all going all right. You know, if this were a gigging amp, I'd certainly replace those, but if it's just going to get, you know, sporadic use or whatever, you know, they're probably fine. You get a few more years out of them, but sort of thing you want to sort of watch, and I'm certainly happy to do them, you know, straight away if you want to do that. You know, not a lot of time to do it, but you know, maybe half an hour or something. But anyway, we can do that if you want to do that. Those two balance, the heater hum circuit, so the little hum balance pot, which you know, apparently they always blow up, which is why it's got those two 100 ohm resistors there to you know, keep the hum down. And apparently when 6L6 melts down like that one did, they'll quite often take those two resistors out. So it looks like that's what's happened. So I've replaced those. They're only quarter watt resistors or half watt resistors, but I've doubled them up and got the right values so that they've you know, double the current capacity of those. The bias on these tubes was pretty dang hot, and I've managed to put together a selection out of the tubes that you brought down, and they're all running. I've lost my piece of paper. They're okay. They're reasonably balanced between them. There's a lot of variation in each of those tubes. One of the old RCA's totally dead. And just before I started doing this, another one of the groove tubes 12AX7s shit itself as well. So anyway, it's got the full complement in there at the moment. They're all doing all right. The whole thing, I've got it plugged in. You can hear the whole amp's fairly quiet, but there you go. Yeah, I couldn't test the reverb. I don't have the reverb tank for it. And I could hook one up, I suppose, but I didn't because it's just a bit of a pain in the butt to do it. But the tremolo works. It's a little weak, and I swapped the tube over on the tremolo oscillator, and that it hasn't really made a difference. So I think the issue is probably likely to be the roach or maybe some of those capacitors which are that little trio there. Anyway, if you want to, we can work on that. I did manage to get a lot of the oily film that was left in. I did manage to get a lot of it out. Doesn't seem to be really causing too much of a drama, but you know, it's so normal channel's working too. Yeah. Anyway, there she is. She's sort of ready to go home, but you know, we can do some more work on it if you'd like, mate. Let me know, and I'll give you a bit of a rundown on the Marshall next. All right.